Welcome in to OneTake Tonight, your one-stop shop for all things Bay Area sports and culture and news. Lots in the news this weekend. I'm your host, Dan O'Connor. We got producer Reese behind the screen. They had the Niners winning the NFC, headed to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, but they got a little bit of help along the way. The Lions head coach, Dan Campbell, went for it on two controversial fourth downs and blew a massive 17-point lead for his team in Detroit, Michigan. Or what pundits are now calling the Hillary Clinton strategy. It was a great win. Brock Purdy threw for 267 yards, had 48 rushing yards himself, 2 touchdowns for Christian McCaffrey. The boys are really getting after it out there. The game ended, the Lions went home, and the only one who still thinks Detroit has a chance to win is Nikki Haley. New Hampshire primary last week, the AP called the election for Trump at 8:01 local time, 1 minute after the polls closed. 1 minute after the polls closed, to which CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News all simultaneously tweeted in anger, WTF, don't get any ideas come November. I don't know who wrote that joke, producer Reese. That might have been one of our new guys. Reports came out today that Bill Belichick did not talk to Mac Jones at all after their Week 14 loss to the Giants, in which Jones threw 2 interceptions and for only 89 yards. The son of the Patriots owner, Jonathan Kraft, reportedly then responded to this report by saying, "Who's Bill Belichick?" Last week, legendary NFL players and internet personalities Antonio Brown and Chandler Jones threw out the idea that they would start the CTE podcast because many people believe they both have CTE, to which Jones responded, CTE is not real. He was asked about it on Instagram live the next day and had no recollection of ever saying that. All right, we got a great show. Blog of the week, what's in the news, and behind the scenes, all here on deck. Producer Reese, cue the damn music. All right, welcome into Blogs of the Week. Producer Reese, you had one of the biggest, if I'm not mistaken, last week. The difference between a short king and a short man. Ron DeSantis, people are saying that you actually ended his presidential campaign, calling him the short man of the month for the month of January. Can you give the people a little bit of behind the scenes on short man versus short king?
There's been some rumors, Dan. Yeah, I mean, 46th governor of Florida. I could have very easily ended his career right there with that blog alone, single-handedly. But yeah, back to your question. The difference between a short man versus a short king is that a short man does not embrace his height. Simply put, a short king does. Short man does not own the insecurities. In fact, they hide from the insecurities. You know, they hide it with, like, what do they have out there now? Products that make you appear taller. You know,
the height lifts.
The height lifts. Yeah, I see a lot of those ads on Instagram for those height lifts. You know, they're trying to sway us short kings. We got to stay up though. You know, and by stay up I mean stay down because we're really short. But anyway, back to my point. Short kings embrace their height. You know, whether you're 5'7" or 4'11", you know, it's all in the head. It's all in the head. It's all in how you perceive yourself, and how you present yourself. You know. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah, I like that analysis there, producer Reese. I just wanted to give you one quote that I thought was really outstanding from you here. You write, in my opinion, to be a true, capital true, short king, you must embrace your height. Don't care if you're 4'11" or 5'7", you got to go full send. I'm not saying that wearing height lifts won't give you any advantages. I'm just saying that wearing them will give you a false sense of confidence, something that will go away when you take them off. Maybe you could just expand upon that a little bit. I thought it was just brilliant.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, very much so. I mean, if you're in the marina, you know, hitting on the Marina Babes at Balboa Cafe
That's right.
on a Friday night, and
Right.
you're wearing these height lifts, or if you're just standing on a bar stool, presenting yourself as 5 to 7 inches taller than you actually are, what's going to happen when you step off of that bar stool, or when you take that Marina Babe home and you take off those height lifts? You're immediately going to fall to under her chin, basically. And, you know, it's going to be embarrassing. You know, it's not going to be a great performance from you. Your ego is going to be killed. It's a bloodbath. Yeah. All I got to say is embrace your height from the start. You know, embrace what you have. Embrace your gift. Being a short king is a gift. Don't forget that, Dan.
That's brilliant. Brilliant stuff there, producer Reese.
Thank you, Dan.
Other blog of the week. Yeah, thanks for that outstanding reporting. That's really good stuff. Another one of the best blogs we have coming out is Only Man Who Exists Who Can Save the Buffalo Bills is named Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick, he got canned by the Patriots at the end of this season. It was just a couple weeks ago now. And we got the Buffalo Bills, who are like the perfect fit for this guy. They're in the same division. Bill Belichick, excuse me, it's a little bit confusing because you got the Bills and Bill. But you got Bill Belichick, who's a Northeast guy. He wants to stick around that region, stay near the family, the grandkids, the roots, what have you. And he loses out on the Washington job. He loses out on the Atlanta job. But who really wants to work for these crappy franchises anyway? The Bills are a team that just cannot get over the hump. They're poorly coached, poorly managed. Come actual playoff time and in-game decision-making is where Bill Belichick has made his money for the last 25, 30, 40-plus years since he's been in the NFL. What are we doing, Buffalo Bills? Get it together. Call your boy Bill Belichick. Producer Reese got his race car bed out in Stockton. And let's get this thing done. Bill to the Bills. Producer Reese, anything else to add, or should we move on?
I'm a big Bill Belichick guy. You know, we here at OneTake Media, we live and operate under his mantra. A lot of his philosophies are ingrained in what we do here at OneTake Media.
That's right.
I'm a big Bills guy. I love Josh Allen. Go Pokes.
Go Pokes. That's true.
Go Pokes. And I will be keeping up my Bill Belichick poster over my race car bed, for the record. So I haven't given up on Bill. He's the man. He's just smashing 20-year-olds, allegedly. But back to you, Dan. Yeah.
Do your job. Great stuff there, producer Reese. Niners prediction. Wrote it yesterday, and I was very surprised that our Niners blogger quit months back with the formation of the Niner Gang, a.k.a. two of our former OneTake Radio contributors, RIP to both of them, and RIP to OneTake Radio for now, allegedly coming back in the future, potentially. Mm-hmm. And we got, within the game itself, the supposed top fan of the Niners and leader of the Niner Gang in T.I. essentially quitting on his team. And I'm the guy here who is rallying for his team, saying, don't give up on your team, and giving him the pep talk. I mean, at this point, I think I might be the leader of the Niner Gang. I've basically come in here, created the biggest company in San Francisco as far as media is concerned, and actually saved San Francisco sports in many rights. I mean, since we started, we got the Warriors winning titles again. They were bad for a number of years, 3-4 years after they had their, they bought a couple with Kevin Durant there. The Niners couldn't get over the hump. Now they're going back to Super Bowls. I mean, it's just one of those things that it's just surprising to see the good people, the good, the Tavises of the world who are giving up on their team. And it's just something that you hate to see, producer Reese. So I'm happy the Niners are getting back to the Super Bowl, getting back to pay dirt.
Mm-hmm. I hate to see it, Dan, honestly. I had a lot of faith in our guy T.I. Hopefully, God bless him. I don't know where he'll be on Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see. Maybe we'll see an Instagram update, maybe a story update or so. Maybe some back and forth between him and Nate the Barber. I don't know what to expect.
Yep.
It's in God's hands at this point.
He for the record, if he is invited to Stockton for Boys Weekend with you and Tony Batista, if I'm not mistaken. Is that fair to say? Open
invitation, of course. Yeah, he has an open seat at my table here. We got Capri Suns, we got some Oscar Mayer hot dogs on deck. You know the vibes, Dan. I don't got to go into detail here.
Yeah, those weekends are pretty hype.
Mm-hmm.
Those weekends are pretty hype. All right, let's get to what's in the news. What's in the news? Waterfront plan in San Francisco, the largest proposed infrastructure plan in our city's history. This is a quote from Mayor London Breed. Bold thinking can be a model for other coastal cities across the nation. Yada, yada, yada. Goes into some other things. San Francisco seems to be focused on large global issues as opposed to think climate change, think foreign policy, think war in the Middle East, as opposed to actually getting things done tactically within the 7x7 city limits of San Francisco as a city and as a county. It's very puzzling. I don't really understand it. Producer Reese, you've done your time in San Francisco, grown up here for 20 some years. Now you live in the Central Valley. You're living the good simple life of Stockton, California. You got your cows, you got your guns, you got your trucks out there. Good stuff. San Francisco. I mean, I'm trying to understand where this isn't just a virtue signal to others to say, hey, we're like trying to do the right thing, but then we're not really cleaning up our own backyard and a lot of the near-term domestic issues that we're facing as a city. So very confusing. I think the city needs a lot of, especially going into an election year, the city needs some vision, some leadership, some initiative. It's like, it's cool to, where's the vision, Producer Reese? I don't understand it. Why are we doing this virtue signaling? Why aren't we focused on the meat and potatoes issues within the realm of the, I guess we'll focus on your own sphere of influence. Our sphere of influence is small in San Francisco. Indeed. Let's focus there.
Yeah. It's a bit hypocritical, Dan. Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, the leadership needs to be a little bit better there. It could be time, come the mayoral election 2028, Dan O'Connor for mayor. Things could change, possibly, for the better. I don't know.
Things could change. Things could change.
You take a look at the city like Stockton. Stockton, we care about our people. We care about the local issues here.
That's right. Stockton's not virtue. Stockton's not calling for a ceasefire in the Middle East.
It's facts, man.
They're like, hey, we're just trying to focus on our own issues here. So we're trying to control what we can control.
San Francisco should take a page out of Stockton's book, in my opinion, Dan. So I don't got a lot to say about that.
The board of supervisors. I don't really understand all the ins and outs of it, but is this really what we're focused on? Of all the things, producers, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, once there's more building in the city, we have clearly a housing issue, and there's very little building happening within city limits. And a myriad of other issues. We got Producer Reese and some short king discrimination in the marina on Friday nights. I mean, that's a tough one.
That too. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when APEC came into the city, right? It seems like
very odd.
Yeah, very odd. Very, very, very strange phenomenon. Very strange things happen during that whole week. A lot of
that was an odd week. We had we had some email back and forth with APEC at sf.org, and just didn't end up being allowed into the conference, which was surprising. Is just shutting down journalists. We don't like that.
Where's the organization?
Capital J journalists.
Where's the vision, Dan? Yeah. Hate to see it.
Yeah, and of course the streets were cleaned up for Xi Jinping and your boy Ferdinand Marcos there, amongst others. But for the actual taxpayers in San Francisco not to have that, it's a little bit odd. So where are our priorities right now, San Francisco? Where are they?
Indeed.
Don't exactly know. Mona Lisa defiled. Producer Reese, you might have to want to clip this one in.
Gotcha.
The climate folks are throwing and trying to destroy old art. I don't get what. I mean, you do what you want to do. I was surprised. Where's the defense for this? How is this not happening every day at these large institutions of art? Maybe it's just a way to try to defile what Western civilization means to folks. Did you see the clip, Producer Reese? I don't know if you did. But,
I actually had to look this one up because I feel like this is not the first time that it's happened. Someone's tried to deface not just any piece of art, but the Mona Lisa specifically. To see it happen potentially again was very surprising to me. And back to your point, where's the defense? Again, I don't even understand the connection between climate activists defacing this piece of art and their movement. If you can explain that to me, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I don't
get it. Protest culture is fascinating. It's become a cult, I guess, because of the internet now. It's you can you can get it's wild. Remember when we were thinking of going up to Burning Man and there was those protesters blocked the whole there's a 2-lane highway that's one way to go up to Burning Man up in northern Nevada, and protesters were just completely blocking it.
Yeah.
When they do like the blocking traffic type of situation, it's become like kind of a culty style of organization. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, they can. I don't know if it's if there's a message behind it. I mean, clearly there is, but I don't. You could use an explanation, is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of times I see some protesters. What was the one where a bunch of, was it vegans? They like chained themselves to the outside of a fast food restaurant. I don't know if you heard of that one, Dan.
It sounds electric, man. That's stuff. I wish like they just told me that they were going to do it, because then I would go and then we could have some good video content out of that, because it's good stuff. Like, you know,
it's electric.
People to action, right? That's electric stuff.
I respect the dedication.
I want the protesters to tell me when they're going to do it. That's really what I want.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
But how are you allowed to, like, if I can just, I'm going to like the Louvre, I can just bring in a milkshake or whatever. So like walk by the Mona Lisa and just be like, oh, like there's the Mona Lisa right there.
Right. No one
like
suspects
the bastion of Western culture and art. Like I can just have a milkshake right here, like within throwing distance. Like even if I wasn't protesting, I might be just like tempted to toss a coffee on the Mona Lisa.
Those intrusive thoughts may get to people. I don't know.
I know, right? Like you're having a bad day. You're like, dude, I'm gonna just gonna toss a coffee on the Mona Lisa. Kings and Queens of Corbet's canceled. This was a surprising one for me. It's just because of a lack of snow. Kings and Queens of Corbet's, one of the coolest downhill ski events around. Started maybe 2018, 5-6 years ago. And it's basically producer Reese, who's a Jackson, Wyoming guy. You basically just send it blind down Corbet's Couloir. It's really cool, and they're canceling it this year. It's supposed to be, the window was the 3rd of February to the 10th of February, and it's just off now. Like, one, I get, like, postponing it, but you can't just, like, push it off a month, like, when you get a little bit more snow. I don't understand all the factors at play here, but it's, like, it's a little bit soft on ski culture to not... And then they do the claim of, like, oh, it's for the safety of the athletes. Like, oh, 100% agree, but, like, you can't just, like, do it a month later. Can't do it in March this year. Didn't get enough snow. Let's do it in March. I don't know, man. Yeah. What are we doing? Ski culture. Let's figure it out.
Honestly, I don't get what's stopping. Well, I don't get what's stopping these skiers from going back a month later. I mean, if I was one of the skiers who participated in Corbet's, like, I would definitely want to still go this year. I wouldn't want to skip out on an entire event just because of that, you know.
Right.
So
then the event doesn't happen for 2 years, and it's like for the skiers, it's like they're not getting any younger.
No.
Whomever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just kind of seems like it sucks for them. Kind of a missed opportunity.
Rumors of OneTake Media covering that in the near future.
I would love to. I mean, that's a dream for sure, to just get up there to the top of Corbet's and do some calls there. I guess maybe that's why I was a little bit frustrated by it, because maybe there's some company budget opening up, but it's like, yeah, it's always contingent in surfing and snowboarding, but like, can't just push it off a month, boys? No?
What are we doing?
There'll be more snow.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit more snow. Sundance Film Festival, speaking of ski films and ski electricity, no best skier on the mountain at Sundance this year. It just wrapped up yesterday, and I think it was the 18th to the 28th of January, 2024. No best skier on the mountain. Producer Reese, it's just one of one of the probably most innovative documentaries of 2023, and it didn't get a lot of love. We got, a little bit of nepotism at the Sundance Awards. We had a former presidential daughter getting a film in there, but just because we don't have that, maybe have someone in the know. We're not in at Sundance, so it's tough to hear, producer. He's especially after a guy like you put in so much hard work.
Hey, hate to see it, man. Yeah, 2 years in the making. Some have called it, some have actually called it a Sundance-worthy film. Shout out David Olvera. Don't know where you are, buddy, but yeah, I mean, a lot of effort into that film. A lot of creativity. Shout out Dan's brain.
Yep.
A lot of originality, a lot of great skiing, a lot of sending it. A lot of friends of the program who were featured in it who are probably disappointed now that they're going to hear that it never made it to the film festival, so...
Yeah.
Maybe, rumors of a film called One Hell of a Comeback making it to...
Oh!
Future festivals. We'll see, though.
Whoa!
We'll see,
Whoa!
another.
Yeah, we got to come back first. We got to do some media mogul things first, and then come back and drop Eagles Nest. Kadarius Toney, this was pretty funny. He went on a rant at the Chiefs because he wanted to let everyone know that he's actually not injured, but the Chiefs said he was injured, but they just really don't want him to play because he's just been bad this year. He's dropped a lot of passes. He had a terrible offsides in that loss they had in Buffalo about 7 weeks ago. They obviously avenged that in the divisional round. Kadarius Toney, producer Reese, might want to clip this one in.
Y'all reading all this cap ass shit. You feel me? Believe it. I don't give a fuck. I ain't never been that nigga to go do all that. But yeah, man, that shit cap. I'm not hurt. None of that shit. Say that shit. Suck my dick too. Oh God, not hurt. None of that.
Don't have a lot to add to it, but it was pretty funny. The fact that he just went off on his team, and he's definitely not going to play in the Super Bowl at this point. So Chiefs, Niners in the Super Bowl. I sneaky am all about the Chiefs. I love the Chiefs. I've been rooting for them for the past 4 weeks ever since the playoffs started, and I feel embarrassed about it. I felt guilty and embarrassed about it until yesterday. I was like, this team's just the way they can turn it on. It was very Patriots like in their heyday when they when Gronk would 2018 Gronk was basically they kind of put him on the shelf for a number of weeks, and then he would just come in when they needed him, and he was awesome. So I love that. They did that in 2017 as well. Gronk had 2 Super Bowls, 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. So I don't know who I'm going to be rooting for in 2 weeks when the Niners and Chiefs go at it in the Super Bowl. So producer Reese, there's some talks that we will be out in North Beach talking to the people.
We might need to bring along Tony Bautista's special analyst, a long-term Chiefs fan as well. So he's a big Mahomes guy, right. Big Chiefs guy. He's also a good person to have around. Very funny. So we'll see. Yeah.
That's right. All right, good stuff there, producer Reese. Next segment, behind the scenes. First up, last month, myself and other members of the OneTake Media team went down to Arizona for the Arizona Bowl, Barstool Sports, presented by them. It was an awesome game. Go Pokes. Pokes got the W. The Arizona Bowl people loved us. Barstool, not that excited to see OneTakeMedia.com. So it was a little bit of a debacle in that regard, but obviously want to get in front of them and get them these guys are somewhat interesting. These guys are doing their thing. But it was kind of a weird vibe from the start. They didn't promote the event at all. They didn't really seem like they wanted to be there at all. It was a wild one, man. But hey, we still went. We did it. And producer Reese, you were right there as well in the fire. So credit to you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was quite a trip. It was OneTake Media's probably most savage road trip, in my opinion. It's always good.
Yeah, to drive that was too much. That was fucking stupid. That was dumb of me. That was.
No, it was fun, man. Good for morale. But yeah, the actual game itself was fire. Yeah, I'm a big Pokes guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got to meet some of the Barstool guys. It was kind of weird how they weren't promoting beforehand. So that was, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very, very strange behavior all throughout the entire Arizona Bowl.
I don't know if it was strange behavior. It's just kind of it's interesting you can kind of get a finger on the pulse for. I think they're at an interesting place as a company right now because they don't have that. They don't have that same backing that they did as of August, and then they got sold back to. Well, that's a whole nother what's the word? What's the best way to describe it? That's a whole can of worms as far as if you get sold back to your owner for $1, that means you have no other market value outside of just going directly to your owner, right? So they basically Penn Gaming sold the company back to Barstool, or not Barstool, but the founder Dave for $1, which is that means they must have gone to other buyers. They went to private equity. They went to I'm sure other high net worth individuals, and they're trying to pawn it off, and no one would purchase it. Wow. So where does that? And then Barstool had their CEO leave earlier this year, so it seems like they've obviously Dave's and the lead dogs at Barstool have become wildly successful. Dave's worth 9 figures, probably going to be worth he's the mogul of moguls. But at the same time, it's interesting because the brand seems to be so tied to him that he almost can't get rid of it now. right? Like
Yeah.
the best companies are the ones that can like go from founder to CEO and just like continue to move forward from there. But like without him and the personalities, because they're so intertwined, like it seems like they're outside of him or the original guys owning it, they don't have as much actual market value. So it's like a really weird, interesting problem.
Yeah, that's
That was at least my take on it. And then the Arizona Bowl was like a kind of a manifestation of that, because they didn't. You could tell they didn't want to be there, because they're focused on like on trying to make money, as opposed to just like growth overall.
Yeah.
Which is what public companies are more focused on, growth, as opposed to like dollars in, dollars out. So they're kind of like a small business that happened to get larger. So they're just like a 300-ish person small business. So I don't know what that has to do with much of anything, but I don't think they're really in a growth stage right now.
right. No, I mean, you probably could have picked up on that, like comparing the energy from last year's Arizona Bowl or 2022's Arizona Bowl to this year's.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, you were there firsthand. You probably felt the difference. So yeah, it's all like I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that in this one, but in 2022, they invested. Yeah, they had a media day before. They promoted it a ton. They had one of their, they had Caleb go out and do a segment with University of Ohio that was super funny.
Yeah.
That obviously takes money and budget and time.
Right.
They had like at the tailgate that you and I were at, they had a whole like section that they were sponsoring and getting people involved at, and they had none of that in 2023. So it was
different. Yeah.
It was a different vibe. Yeah, and they like a lot of their folks didn't get there till like the morning of the game. Like we got there at the same time that Dave got there, and then we were obviously on the elevator, and it was like the elevator show was funny.
There was a lot of tension on that elevator, man. Yeah.
Tension, bro.
Yeah.
The elevator was fun.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
And then like I love that, and then obviously I like got a quick interview with him, but it was just like kind of. It was just it was awkward.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the I don't know if it was I think I definitely just effed up the interview. That's on me. Or what's my question here, producer Reese? How do I frame this? This is my moment here.
Nailed it.
But at the same time, like that, when I think back to the elevator ride up, which so basically we were waiting for the elevator to go up to the media section.
That's right.
And then I was like, I was here, the elevator's here, producer Reese is facing me, and I was like, yeah, like they're not gonna, I don't know, maybe they're up there now, blah blah blah. And then we just see Portnoy come strolling in with his golf tee, like behind us, like coming towards it. I was like, oh shit, that's him right there.
Yeah.
And then we all get in the elevator, and it's just like dead silent. He's like really like clearly grumpy and like annoyed. And
Very tight. Very tight.
it was just it was very tight. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Yeah.
This guy's feel like this guy's about to blow a gasket. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he immediately starts going at his business guys. He starts going at his boy All Business Pete there. Like no cameras on. He's like sales doesn't give a shit. Like he was just going ham. And then it was funny though. It was funny. It's very very on brand for Portnoy. And it's good. Obviously a company that I admire. Shouldn't speak for the whole organization here at OneTake Media, but they're like the premier as far as digital media is concerned brand in the last 20 years. So
a lot of inspiration we could draw from Barstool. So
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of it was a mixed bag, man. It was weird. We'll get that last one out. The Go Pokes video soon.
Coming soon.
And then the death of OneTake Radio. People have been asking about the death of OneTake Radio, going back to November.
Is that when our last episode
dead.
was? I don't even remember when it was.
I think it might have even been October.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably October. Yeah.
Like mid late October.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, our guys, miss them a lot. On to better things, I guess, for them. I don't know, Beat Rider. Shout out Beat Rider. I don't know what you're up to. Hopefully.
I saved BC football with that blog too. That was another one that could have been blog of the week, blog of the month.
Dan's contribution to BC football and.
Yeah, hey, I'm just trying to contribute. I'm trying to. B Rider wants to, I don't know, make graphics about BC women's basketball and I don't know. Yeah. Hey, God bless him, man.
God bless him. God bless him.
That's electric. That's electric. All right, that's all we got. That's all we got for this episode of One Take Tonight. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on the next one.